A very good morning, class 10th. So, as your midterm examinations, they are on their way. So, today's lecture is about the revision, right? I have taken few very important questions from your chapter life processes. Although I am not able to, discuss all the questions, but I have tried my best that in one video whatever I can accumulate, which the most important questions which I can discuss with you, right? So as you know that I have mostly questions, they are from the your excretory system and your circulatory system. And if it will be possible for me to, then I will tomorrow I will take the nutrition part also with you. So how is urine produced? That is actually a one very important question which usually asked in 3 marks question, and many of times we don't know how to write this. So I have made stepwise description of this, that what you need to write in the exam if this question is asked, that how is urine produced. So first thing, why there is the formation of urine take place, the purpose, the what is the purpose, basically what is the purpose of urine formation. You know that kidney's main function is to filter out waste products from the blood. So the purpose of urine is to filter out the waste products from the blood. Can our body accumulate this waste product in our can we accumulate waste products in our blood? No, this is not possible. So the purpose of urine is to release out, to filter out, to remove out the waste products from the blood, and that filtration part is done by the kidneys. That is why kidneys, they are basic filtration unit in human beings. Now what this nitrogenous waste includes, which is filtered out through the with urine, nitrogen waste include urea or uric acid. They are usually removed from the blood in the kidneys, and there is a, how does this happen? That is through the main filtration units which are called nephrons. And we know that nephron has a cup shaped structure which is known as your Bowman's capsule. So it includes Bowman's capsule, plus this nephron unit includes, the most important is, that is your glomerulus. I will write here glomerulus, as well as tubules, many tubules, right? Tubular part, that is your PCT, proximal convoluted tubule, DCT, distal convoluted tubule, then loop of Henle, and finally there is the collecting duct. If you want to study the detail of this structure, then I'm adding a link. I have in the description box I have mentioned a link in which I have discussed every single detail about the structure and function of nephron. But here the question is not about the structure and function of nephron. The question is how is urine produced. So the purpose of urine is to filter out the waste products. And what are these waste products? These are our nitrogenous waste, urea and uric acid. This is done by kidney, which is having a capillary bunch, and it is present in the cup shaped structure, and finally which collect your urine, filtered urine. Each kidney has large number of these filtration units which are known as nephrons, and they are millions in number. Some substances, now this is the structure, right? And this moves through the tubes. So when the urine moves through the tube, some substances such as glucose, amino acids, salts and waters, they are reabsorbed. ये word लिखना ही लिखना है, selectively reabsorption, right? 3 things are done here: ultrafiltration, very very minute filtration is done, as well as then reabsorption, and finally urine is excreted out. So glucose, amino acids, salts, water, they are reabsorbed once the urine flows along the tubes. Now, how much water is reabsorbed? That depends that how much excess is present in the body. ऐसा नहीं है कि ऑलरेडी बॉडी में वाटर कम है तो उससे वो वाटर ज़रूरी है रीअब्जॉर्ब होना. नो, वाटर रीअब्जॉर्प्शन ओनली डिपेंड if there is excess water is present. So now urine is forming in each kidney. It enters a long tube, then which is called ureter. Ureter connect the kidney with the urinary bladder. Urine is stored in the urinary bladder और ये तब तक store करता है till your urinary bladder expands and start putting up the pressure, and finally it passes out through the urethra. I hope it is not difficult to write down this. First you have to write down the purpose, then what is coming out, what is releasing out in the urine, then you have to mention your basic unit, and then you have to mention about the glomerulus and Bowman's capsule, and then nephrons, reabsorption, and finally urine formed in each kidney. It is connected with the ureter and then urinary bladder. This question is clear. This I have written in the point forms, so I think it is easy for you to write this answer in this way. Then there is another question that sometimes asked in exam, that is the describe the brief function of kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder and urethra. See, I think every one of you can, because this is a direct answer, you have to mention the function of kidneys, function of ureters, urinary bladder and urethra. Just try this out and you can easily mention this answer. I have added every my videos link in the description box, so you can take the help of those videos also to write your answers. ये क्वेश्चन में गड़बड़ी बहुत होती है. The students, they don't know how to write this question. Describe double circulation in human beings and why is it necessary. One very important thing for you, please try to understand the question. That first you have to tell complete about the double circulation, क्योंकि ये 3 marks से कम में नहीं आता है. Now you know that circulatory system of ours is known as double circulation because the blood is passing in the heart twice, right? When one complete cycle of the body, including your oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, a blood travels or passes through the heart twice. That is why the circulation is known as double circulation, right? Because the blood passes through the heart 2 times, right, into one complete cycle of the body. Now it involves 2 processes. One, there is when there is a exchange between heart and lungs, right? Usually that circulation is known as your pulmonary circulation. हमेशा double circulation को 2 points में discuss करना है. One is the pulmonary and one is the systemic, right? If I draw this thing, this is my left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium, right ventricle, and here is our lungs and here is the body parts. Okay, so pulmonary, I am now going to tell you a very quick way to write down this. Pulmonary circulation, you know that it is a circulation which involves the circulation between heart and the lungs. So pulmonary circulation, it begins from right ventricle, right? This is the right ventricle, and right ventricle that sends the blood to the lungs. Okay, from heart to blood goes to the lungs. So pulmonary circulation किसका involve कर रही है? Blood moves from your heart to lungs via कौन सी artery आती है यहाँ पे? Pulmonary artery. Now blood in the lungs, it get oxygenated and then return to heart via pulmonary veins. So heart and lungs के बीच में जो circulation हो रहा है, that is your pulmonary circulation, right? That is the first point of your double circulation, that one circulation is involving your heart and lungs, and it is beginning from right ventricle to lungs and from lungs to the left atrium through the pulmonary veins, right? Now the next one is the systemic circulation. This circulation, it starts from, let's make again one more time, left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium, right ventricle. Here I can make lungs, here I can make body parts. Okay, so circulation, it starts from where? It starts from left ventricle, because left ventricle send the blood to the aorta. It means this circulation involves exchange between heart and body or the tissues. So this circulation start from left ventricle and send the oxygenated blood to the different tissues via your largest artery, that is called aorta. And aorta further divided into arteries, arterioles, further divided into then capillaries, and finally supply the oxygenated blood to the various part of the body. Now body parts undergo metabolic reaction, right? Body parts undergo various reactions. They release CO2, and this is mixed with the blood, and your blood is now deoxygenated blood. And this deoxygenated blood, it is collected by vena cava and received by right atrium. So this deoxygenated blood, it is collected by venules which join to form veins and finally becomes vena cava, and blood is bring back to the right atrium, and your answer is complete. So double circulation includes two circulation, means heart means blood passes through the heart 2 times, and it includes pulmonary circulation, which is a circulation between heart and lungs, and systemic circulation, which is a circulation between heart and the body parts, right? What is the necessity? Why it is so necessary? See, right side and left side of human heart is totally different. It is very useful for us to prevent the to keep the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood from mixing. So this type of circulation, this type of separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, it makes ensure, it keeps ensure that blood should be highly efficiently supply the oxygen to the body, right? So every chamber is working efficiently to provide the oxygen to the body, and this is very useful for us because we are very metabolically active organisms, and this circulation, it gives extra, it gives constant energy to maintain our body temperature, because we have a capacity that we can thermoregulate, right? We can regulate our body temperature, and that is why blood circulation is necessary. It keeps the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood different from each other. It provides high efficient supply of oxygen to the body, as well as to maintain the body temperature. This circulation is necessary. Is it tough for you to write down during exam? No, not at all. You have to define double circulation's definition first, then you have to mention pulmonary circulation, then you have to mention systemic circulation, right? If you can show with these diagram, then nothing like it, right? Always then diagrammatic representation is very best if you can show it. And then you have to mention necessity of double circulation. 3 points clear cut I have written for you. Sometimes this question is asked in the 3 parts. When 3 marks question asked, then one part is this: what is a pulse? Every time we hold our wrist and we can feel our pulse. During each heartbeat, the muscles of heart, they contract, right? Contraction means there is a kind of pressure, and this pressure, it forces the blood to move into the arteries, and this wave of pressure is known as your pulse. Means when the force through which blood is flowing in the arteries, that pressure is known as the pulse. And this happens every time of your heartbeat, that your muscles of heart, they contract and they cause a wave of pressure which push the blood to move through the arteries, and this pressure is known as pulse. Now there are few questions I have taken out for you. It is video will be very long if I will start answering every question, but I have explained every part in my videos, and I will mention those links in my description box, so you can go through that. State the role of following in the human digestive system. This should be very much clear to you, that what are the digestive enzymes, what is HCl, and what are the villi. One thing, I cannot give you the direct complete answer, but one thing I want to share with you, that is the digestive enzyme means enzyme which help in the digesting of the food we eat. Please, HCl is not any kind of enzyme. It is only and only it creates an acidic medium, और acidic medium भी किसके लिए वो create करता है, so that the enzyme pepsin, it can work. And villi, you know, that small intestine that help in the maximum absorption of food, so it increases the surface area, right, inside the small intestine. Now this question again I have taken from the circulatory part. What is blood pressure? How is it measured? Give one difference between systolic and diastolic pressure. See, blood pressure, please carefully write the definition. It is a force that blood put against the wall of a vessel, right? You know that there are arteries, there are veins, there are capillaries. So the force, the pressure that the blood is exerting against the wall of a vessel, it is known as your blood pressure. The pressure is much greater in arteries than in the veins, and it is measured by the instrument, and that instrument is sphygmomanometer. Right, so because the second part is how is it measured? It is measured by sphygmomanometer, and it is the ratio. What is the blood pressure? It is the ratio of systolic pressure over diastolic pressure. Systole का मतलब होता है contract करना, and here we are taking the ventricular systoles. So when ventricles contract, now just let's make a smaller diagram. Left ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium, right ventricle. So we are saying when ventricles contract means जब उनको blood बाहर भेजना है heart से, so they will contract, definitely they will contract, and that contraction is your systolic pressure. It is ventricular systole. It means जब ventricular contract हो रहे हैं तो it is atrial diastole. राइट, एट्रियल्स दे आर रिलैक्स्ड. जब एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होता है तो दूसरा रिलैक्स्ड होता है, राइट. एंड अब इन वॉल्स की ज़रूरत नहीं है, बाइकस्पिड दे विल क्लोज, एंड क्योंकि बाहर भेजना है ब्लड, सो देयर विल बी द pulmonary and aortic wall, they will open, and once they will open, now the blood will flow from right ventricle से जाएगा lungs में और left ventricle से जाएगा body में. So this is your ventricular contraction, ventricular systole. This is our upper pressure, that is your systolic pressure. Diastolic pressure includes your ventricular diastole, और जब ventricular relaxed हैं तो atrial contract करते हैं. So auricles, atrial contract. Actually atrium is a very new and medical word. Auricles is a older term, so always it is best to use atrial. Atria contract, बाइकस्पिड ट्राइकस्पिड ओपन होते हैं. कोई भी चीज़ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कब कर रही है, एक छोटा सा कॉन्सेप्ट मैं यहाँ पे समझाऊंगी. अ वेरी क्विक कॉन्सेप्ट आई विल टेल यू. ओके, दैट इज द लेफ्ट atrium, left ventricle, right atrium, right ventricle. Just listen to me very carefully. Whenever these will receive blood, they will relax. Whenever, जब भी कोई receive करेगा blood, they will relax. Whenever someone is sending the blood to other, they will, right, they will contract. Now we are saying atria, they will contract. So ventricular diastole, it means atria, they are sending blood to the ventricles. So bicuspid and tricuspid valves open होंगे तभी तो atria भेजेंगे. So blood flows from right atrium to right ventricle and left atrium to left ventricle. At this time ventricles कुछ नहीं कर रहे, so they are known as relaxed. They are ventricular diastole. So this is diastolic pressure. So blood pressure आपका clear हो गया. Blood pressure is the contraction over relaxation. Ventricular systole over ventricular diastole. Systolic pressure over diastolic pressure. And normal adult में it is 120/80 mm of mercury. Again, blood pressure, it is a force that blood exert put against the wall of a vessel. Now then, these kind of questions are also asked: blood vessels function, lymph function, heart function, right? And sometimes this is also asked: write 3 types of blood vessels, give one important feature of each, or list 3 kinds of blood vessels in human circulatory system and write their function. In this you have to write down about arteries, veins, as well as the capillaries. So better to write down in the tabulate form, right? Don't make the paragraphs. Then you know that diagram of human heart is very important. That is just to get you confused, that 2 parts that are concerned with the blood supply to heart muscle, you have to give each part detail: vena cava, superior and inferior, atriums, then ventricle, septum, right, valves, aorta, pulmonary artery, pulmonary veins, everything you have to label down here. Mention 3 kinds of cells present in human blood. You know, RBCs, WBCs, and platelets. You can watch my video for this. I have discussed very carefully with their function. This question I have solved for you. The breathing cycle is rhythmic, whereas exchange of gases is continuous process. See, breathing cycle means inhalation, exhalation. Inhalation, exhalation. That is a rhythmic process, right? Pehle inhale karo and then exhale. But exchange of gases is a continuous. It doesn't take a rest. It is a continuous process, because every time your passage through which air is coming into the lungs, it is never ever empty. There is always a residual volume. There is always some volume of air which is present in our lungs as well as in this passage. So that is why exchange of absorption of oxygen and release of CO2, it is a continuous process, right? It is a continuous process because of the presence of extra air, that is called your residual volume of air. Sometimes the next question comes is, what happens if conducting tubes of circulatory system develops a leak? Conductive system means arteries, your blood vessels. अगर उनमें कहीं से leak होना शुरू हो जाए, what will work? Platelets, they will get activate. So blood will get clot because of our blood clotting system. So first line is clear. First answer हम दे सकते हैं that if the conducting tubes of circulatory system, they will develop a leak, the blood will clot. How will it clot? After a leak, number of platelets, their number will increase to minimize the leakage. Thrombin, inactive, which was present, convert into active thrombin. Active thrombin convert the inactive fibrinogen into active fibrin. And finally, there will be a formation of mesh-like structure, and this is called as your clot. So clot is formed. But if a person does not develop blood clot, then you need immediate doctor's attention or medical attention. Otherwise, due to excessive bleeding, it leads to death, right? So this is, the point is clear, that if conductive tubes of circulatory system develops a leak, then blood will start clot. What is the hypertension? Hypertension means high blood pressure. Hypertension is always a term which refers to high blood pressure, and it is also known as silent killer. The main cause. Now see, this is the your blood vessel area. अब ये blood vessel area change होके it becomes this much. Will it put some kind of pressure? Definitely it is going to puts pressure. So main cause, the main point of hypertension is that blood vessels area has reduced, and in the biological terms we will write it as a constriction. छोटा हो जाना, area कम हो गया, constriction of very small arteries, and small arteries they are known as arterioles. So basically उनका जो area है this much से it reduced to very very less. It can be due to many reasons. Arterioles, because these are the vessels through which blood is flowing. So now when the path become very less, it will put a lot of pressure on the heart. So heart has to work harder. Heart has to work harder to pump the blood through these smaller space. And when the pressure increase, right, there is a pressure increased in the vessel, it grows, and this pressure is known as your high blood pressure. And high blood pressure, it is leads to rupture. अब finally आप सोचो, इस छोटे से रास्ते में there will be lot of pressure, and finally due to which sometime this artery get ruptured, and अगर ये rupture हो गई तो bleeding will start, and it leads to the internal bleeding. So basically एक आपकी artery इतनी थी, and suddenly it becomes this much, right? It start causing or putting a pressure, high pressure, and this high pressure, high blood pressure against the wall of a vessel, this leads to rupture of the vessel and finally internal bleeding. So these are the few questions which I have taken from your excretory and circulatory system, which you can go through, as well as I will have mentioned few videos in the description box which you can take a help for your revision part. And I will try my best to take the nutrition part also in the form of questions.